What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Moon Knight issue number 15. What we have seen over the last couple of issues, Mark has had a meeting with his alters, Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley. They agreed to work together to achieve their goals. His current goal is dismantling the structure, the group responsible for turning Reese into a vampire. In retaliation, the man known as the Tutor, leader of the structure, he sent the assassins Grand Mal and the Nemean Lion, almost being killed in this battle. The assassins fleeing only after Tigra and Hunter's Moon had intervened. This is the aftermath. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, make sure you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 15, we have Moon Knight who is sitting down with his therapist. They are currently talking about his DID. Because Jake and Steven, they both found it very odd that his therapist has been avoiding the conversation of his DID. And now that Mark truly thinks about it, this is something that his therapist has said time and time again, that they're not trying to talk about his DID. She says it is because of triage. Her job is to help him, and in her opinion, they have made a great deal of progress. But he also knows that he was brought here on a very firm recommendation from the Avengers after the Age of Khonshu. As part of that, it is her job to evaluate what level of danger he may pose, to see if he has another world takeover inside of him. And so she needed to focus on their work on the part of him that potentially presented the greatest threat. That wasn't anybody else except for Mark Spector. And while she doesn't necessarily believe him to be a threat after all the time that they have spent together, but she does change the subject up and she asked him to talk about his breakthrough. And while it has taken him some kind of adjustment, Mark, Steven, and Grant, they are now working together to take down the structure. This has definitely taken some adjustment. He has grown used to not sharing, not having to deal with anybody but himself. It's all about control. Control of the body, control of the life. Everything that he has built up, he is concerned that his other personalities, they might not live up to this. And so for him, it was very difficult to let go. But each of them have their role to play. Stephen Grant taking over and letting Mark know that you have let yourself go. Going in, getting a haircut, getting a little bit of pampering, just making himself look a little more appealing. But Mark was convinced that he was wrong in keeping them away, just like that. Even the therapist, she's a little bit surprised by this, surprised that he was so easily swayed into giving up control. But he informs her that he is an unreasonable individual. That's what he is used for. He is the one that does all the fighting, the one who takes all the punches, the one who spits out the blood and teeth. They gather the intel, they get the information. Steven from the houses of the rich and powerful, and Jake, he's kind of more of the street level, the scum, the underbelly of the entire city. But each of them have their role to play. Jake getting his information from a local bar that he always goes to, trying to learn as much information about the structure as they possibly can, to see who is responsible, to see where they might be hiding out, and see if there is a bigger name attached to everything going on besides the Tutor. Not only that, they are also looking for the assassins that almost killed Moon Knight. Because the truth is, you cannot go to war without good intelligence. That is exactly what happened with Zodiac. He was punching at shadows, hoping that he would hit something, but Zodiac was always one step ahead of him. When it comes to the structure, these two super killers that the Tutor sent after him, they knew what he could do, and he didn't know what they were capable of. While Mark Spector, he may be the fist. He needs to know who and how to punch, where to punch them. He needs his eyes and ears. That is where Steven and Jake really come into play. But as they do their investigation, they have come to learn that there is a big vampire outfit in the city. The word has gone out. It is Ben Franklin time. It is time to join, or it is time to die. Trying to figure out as much as they can from Naomi, the bartender. They also learn more about Lion and Mole, the two assassins that had been sent after them, only having a little bit of footage on Lion, only having a little bit of understanding of who Grand Mole is. Pretty much all his contacts are letting him know that these are people you don't want to get in a fight with. You don't want to mess around with them. If these guys are in whatever is going on, you should probably stay out of it. But as they learn more and more, they learn that the structure, they have been staying out of Chinatown, vampires being very territorial. So if they are making a play in New York City, his territory except for Chinatown, that means Chinatown, this is somebody else's territory. Somebody that even the tutor is afraid of. And so of course, this is someone that Moon Knight would like to make friends with. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. This is when he hits Big Claude. Getting taken by surprise, Jake is taking one heck of a beating. Now with Jake and Steven both out here doing all this investigating, that doesn't mean that there isn't time for Mark Spector. Because when it is time to lay down some hate, when it is time to throw blows, that is when Mark shines. When it comes to everybody else in his life, say for example, Soldier. Soldier doesn't really have any questions about his DID. In fact, Soldier, he is dead set on spending his life more or less protecting Moon Knight, doing whatever Moon Knight says. He has pledged a blood oath to him, and this is something that Soldier will not give up, regardless of him now being a vampire. Hunter's Moon, in fact, has no problem with this, saying that him having DID, this is more resembling Khonshu himself, because Khonshu, he takes on many different faces. Hunter's Moon's problem is that he went to Chinatown, hat in hand, seeking some kind of alliance against his enemy, believing that this is blasphemy. While Reese and her friends, they are relatively innocent vampires. The one in Chinatown, no vampire gains this kind of power without becoming a monster. The fist of Khonshu kills monsters. So if you're trying to make a deal with one, you are going against your god. Now, when it comes to Reese and the DID, she doesn't really have any issue with it. If anything, she just wanted to understand what is going on after she had met Steven. And so while Moon Knight, he really did try to hide all of this. He was more ashamed of his DID, what other people would think of him. The truth is, at the end of the day, all the people he has surrounded himself with, all the people that are currently close in his life, they don't care about his DID. If anything, they just wanted him to be honest with him, because none of these people believe that he has something to prove, at least not to them. Mark Spector, Moon Knight, Jake, Steven, they may have something to prove to the world, but when it comes to his circle, his inner circle, these people already have his back. So his DID, it means absolutely nothing to them, at least in a bad way. But now everything focuses on Chinatown. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This one, it definitely wasn't hugely action-packed, but it's more just focusing on everything going on with the three personalities. We are finally seeing Jake and Steven come back around. We're seeing them utilized, and everything is focused on taking down this vampire uprising, coming in and messing up the current order of things. The question now, who is in Chinatown? Who is the structure the tutor's scared of so much that they would stay away, but they would go after Moon Knight? Even Taskmaster had warned the tutor not to go after Moon Knight. So who could be in Chinatown? What vampire could terrify him so much that he would stay away? Could that be Morbius? Could it be Dracula? Could it be a vampire hunter? There are so many possibilities, and I am very excited to find out who it's going to be. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything that has been going on with Moon Knight, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. Now, if you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having tiers from 1 to 5. from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to free comic books. There are tons of perks if you guys join the channel membership, so please do consider doing so. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.